is if you would have run your show directly through KNI and streamed it from KNI as a KNI product and then somehow allowed other radio stations to syndicate with that. Is that something that could ever be possible in the future? Is that logistically possible? Is it a bad idea? I'm curious as to your thoughts on that.
You know what? I don't want to go back to terrestrial radio.
Really?
I don't want to. No, I've had many offers to do that, and I really don't want to do it. I want to do it on my terms, and right now my terms need...
Well, you've always been I'm sorry.
I would like to stream. I would like to stream. That's number one.
You've always been a groundbreaker in that way. I mean, you were the first one to really bring the internet into radio to begin with.
I remember in the late 90s, Art having video, in the late 90s, having video of himself doing the show from the desert in Nevada, and then like 8 years later, Rush Limbaugh starts providing video on his website and proclaims himself to be the first person ever who done it. And I'm just thinking there's a huge elephant in the room here, and his name's Art Bell. I don't know why he's not being mentioned here. You were a pioneer in all of those regards.
Don't forget that cats are now a really popular part of the internet, too.
Actually, guys, it goes back even further than that. We associated a BBS back in the days of dial-up.
Right, you did.
A lot of people remember that.
With the radio program. So, yes, I think we were first out of the chute with that.
There have been a lot of people who've popped up little pirate radio streams of your show here and there on the internet, and people have always been curious as to what your take is on that, how you feel about that.
Well, okay, here you go. You know, at the beginning, we were taken aback by the amount of pirating that was going on. You know, it was up everywhere. My shows were showing up the next day on the internet. And then it got worse. People were doing live streams. And, God, it's like, how come everybody else can stream but me?
Isn't that just the silliness of the era we live in? The DMCA and just all the rules. I mean, everyone can break the rules except the people who are following the rules.
And creating the content.
I could not have said it better.
Was Sirius actively going after these people, or were they just letting it slide?
I don't know of one instance in which they went after anybody, but they might have. I wasn't aware of it.
Oh, great question.
Yeah, that's basically the same question. What do you think about the pirate streams out there that are playing old Art Bell shows?
Okay, I was starting to say earlier that in the beginning I was pretty upset by the amount of piracy that was going on, but as the streaming difficulties became apparent, and very apparent, I told Keith, I said, look, until this gets fixed, let them go. Stop sending links back to Sirius. And we had been doing that. We'd been sending links of pirate stuff back to Sirius to let them handle it. But it got so bad, it got so rough that I said, let them go. And that's where it stands.
What about in the interim, the 10 years prior to your return to Sirius? I mean, those types of streams were everywhere, just as people longed for the return of the great Art Bell. Did you ever have any thought about those streams playing your coast-to-coast shows prior to your return to Sirius?
Well, no. Those were owned by and are owned by Premier. And if Premier wanted to stop them, then Premier had to get out there and do it.
At least for me, this is Curtis. What's your opinion of podcasting and the future of that? Do you think at some point it's going to take over where terrestrial radio is now? Do you think?
I think it is a future. It's so totally the future, and I think it's even the future for SiriusXM, and I have told them as much. It is a future, and if they don't get on board, the years are going to pass them by, and the technology is going to pass them by. So, yeah, it's a future. Look out terrestrial radio. Look out AM and FM, and look out satellite radio. You either get on board or you'll be left behind.
I don't even think podcasting is the future. I think it's the present. I can't really. I mean, aside from your show, Art, I maybe occasionally Rush. I can't really think of many shows on terrestrial radio that I would care to listen to. Everything else I listen to is in the form of a podcast, and it seems to me, as you look around at statistics, across the country, radio stations are seeing record lows in their revenue. The Grim Reaper, he is knocking on the door. I just don't know how many of them really acknowledge he's standing there.
I think it's like the newspaper business.
I think radio is going to be around a long time. It's just everybody's got to stop trying to do the same damn thing. You can't do politics 24/7, and that's what people want to do. And it's just, that's just so incestuous. So
I agree totally. But look, the net is the future.
I agree with that.
Two ways about it. It's the future, and you're going to see a slow but sure erosion of AM and FM numbers, and you're going to see a slow but sure increase in stuff on the net. And let me tell you, SiriusXM, which is primarily aimed at vehicles right now, is in the next few years looking at internet that's going to be in vehicles, and then Katie bar the door because everybody's...
You're absolutely right there.
I suppose this is a pretty small question compared to the big items we're dealing with here, but those shows, dark matter shows, were some of the best ever. And I would love and pay dearly to get a CD of those. Is that ever possible?
Well, again, I don't own them. I'm here big enough to admit I made a big mistake by getting involved with another large company. What I should have done is go to streaming in the first place. But I thought that here's SiriusXM, and I thought, gosh, they came at me and said, Art, we've got satellite radio all over the U.S. and Canada. It was very tempting. We've got streaming that covers the U.S., Canada, and the world, which turned out not to be quite so true. And I thought it was a good opportunity away from terrestrial radio, so I'd give it a shot. My mistake. I should have gone directly to streaming. But, hindsight is 20/20.